The sun was setting over the small town of Ravenswood, casting a warm orange glow over the bustling streets. The smell of fresh seafood wafted through the air, mingling with the sound of seagulls crying overhead. Amidst the chaos, a young boy named Jack sat perched on the edge of a weathered dock, his feet dangling above the water. Jack was a poor boy, with tattered clothes and a mop of messy brown hair. He lived with his mother in a small, cramped apartment above a fish market, where the smell of salt and fish guts clung to everything. Despite the hardships, Jack's eyes sparkled with a sense of adventure, and his smile could light up the darkest of rooms. As he gazed out at the ferry chugging across the harbor, Jack's mind began to wander. He loved watching the ferry boats come and go, carrying people and goods to and from the nearby islands. He dreamed of one day sailing away on one of those ferries, exploring the world beyond Ravenswood. Just then, a grizzled old sailor approached Jack, his face creased with age and experience. "Hey there, young'un," he said, ruffling Jack's hair. "Want to earn some pocket money?" Jack's eyes lit up. "What do I need to do?" The sailor smiled. "I've got a small cargo to deliver to the island of Stormhaven. It's just a short trip, but I need someone to help me load and unload the crates. You up for the task?" Jack nodded eagerly, and the sailor handed him a worn leather satchel. "Meet me at the dock at dawn tomorrow. We'll set off for Stormhaven bright and early." The next morning, Jack arrived at the dock, his heart racing with excitement. The ferry loomed before him, its engines rumbling to life as the crew prepared to cast off. Jack boarded the ferry, feeling a sense of pride as he helped the sailors load the crates and secure them for the journey. As the ferry chugged out of the harbor, Jack felt the wind whipping through his hair, and the spray of the sea on his face. He watched as the town of Ravenswood receded into the distance, replaced by the endless expanse of water and sky. The journey to Stormhaven was uneventful, but Jack didn't mind. He was content to sit on the deck, watching the seagulls soar overhead and listening to the sailors' stories of adventure and bravery. When they arrived at Stormhaven, Jack helped the sailors unload the crates, marveling at the island's rugged beauty. The island was covered in dense forests, with towering trees that seemed to stretch up to the sky. Jack felt as though he'd entered a different world, one where the rules of Ravenswood didn't apply. As they finished unloading the cargo, the sailor handed Jack a small pouch containing a few coins. "Thanks for your help, lad," he said, with a warm smile. "You're a natural-born sailor." Jack beamed with pride, feeling as though he'd found his calling. He spent the rest of the day exploring the island, marveling at the wildlife and the scenery. As the sun began to set, he reluctantly boarded the ferry, eager to return to Ravenswood and share his adventures with his mother. The journey back was just as enjoyable, with the setting sun casting a golden glow over the water. Jack felt grateful for the experience, and the sense of purpose it had given him. He knew that he wanted to spend more time on the ferry, exploring the world beyond Ravenswood. Over the next few weeks, Jack worked on the ferry whenever he could, helping the sailors with their tasks and learning the ins and outs of the vessel. He became fast friends with the crew, who taught him about the sea and its rhythms. As the months passed, Jack's confidence grew, and he began to take on more responsibilities. He learned how to navigate the ferry, and even helped with the docking and undocking procedures. The sailors were impressed with his quick learning and enthusiasm. One day, the captain called Jack into his office, a small room at the top of the Ferris Bridge. "Jack, I've been watching you work on this ferry for a while now," he said, his voice serious. "I think you're ready for a bigger challenge. How would you like to become a full-time member of the crew?" Jack's eyes widened in surprise, and he felt a surge of excitement. He nodded eagerly, knowing that this was the opportunity of a lifetime. From that day on, Jack was a member of the ferry crew, working alongside the sailors to keep the vessel running smoothly. He loved every minute of it, from the early morning watches to the late-night cargo runs. As the years went by, Jack became an expert sailor, known for his bravery.